Yeah, let's talk about Rama, the fantastic soul. So when he was 17, he was taken by Vishwamitra, a great rishi, a great sage and enlightened being, along with the brother Lakshmana to go and sort out some problems that were affecting the rishis. Lah. There were a few dark forces that were interfering with their work. One of them was called Tadaka. See, the story is Tadaka was qualified to receive supreme knowledge, but because these rishis had a system of classification, of qualification, she did not qualify because she was born in a jungle tribe who hunt for food and all that and pleasure. So they were considered as unworthy of receiving supreme knowledge. Even back in that day, they already had all this nonsense. Of course, Ram didn't agree with that. So, long story short, when he got the entire picture, he made a wish in his heart. A 17-year-old boy, he made a wish in his heart. He said this: from now on, whoever says the name Ram, even by accident, they will get my guidance towards liberation. So he opened up a separate route for souls to attain liberation, even if the rest of the world considered them as being unworthy. That is true greatness. See, certain things like this comes directly from the soul. It is not guided by any outside force. It comes purely from the goodness, the kindness, the compassion of the soul. The same thing happened with this character. This character, when he was 4 or 5, whatever, because they were eating. My family, we enjoy our chicken and fish and meat and all that. So one time, I still remember this was in Kubu, and my grandmother was still around, my mom's mom, and she used to feed me lah. And she used to make the curry. In Malacca, lah, food is always a little bit spicy. So I will eat, and then my lips will swell. She'll put the what is called the gingerly oil, sesame oil to soothe the lips. So one of those days, I was sitting down there, just thinking, okay, I'm eating. It's nice to eat, but after that, my lips burn and I suffer. What about these things that I'm eating? They also suffer, isn't it? So is it right or wrong for me to eat them? So that young kid, that young soul at that time made a decision. Whatever I eat will attain the same level of whatever I attain. You understand that now? That was Ram again. That compassion in that soul never left. So one of the problems the Hindus used to have with me is because they will see me eat anything. I wear Rudraksha, but I'll wear anything. I'm thinking, you can talk like you're Shiva and all that, but you eat pork la, mutton la, beef la, chicken, fish, whatever people give you eat. How can it be? Because I'm liberating the souls. You all eat, it becomes excrement. And you know something, like right now I've been vegetarian for a while. If I go to any of these shops which they have this, right, I can actually hear the souls. The souls are always like sort of like following me. And they're going to park themselves somewhere in like a fish or a piece of chicken or whatever and say, please, Lord, liberate us. I mean, they won't speak loud, but I'll sense their souls there. And then I'll take that and eat it and then I'll liberate them. So the name Ram has got its own magic. That's why we incorporated it into all the religions that we gave you later on. From Judaism to Christianity to Islam. Islam especially, we really plugged it in. Ram is everywhere, isn't it? Ramadan. Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Because even if you say it by accident, it works. In Malay, we put it as Rama Rama. In computers, we use it as RAM. So even when you say it or use it by accident, it works. It sort of like reminds the soul that there is a way out. That's the beauty of Ram. So that's why I'm holding on to say I don't have any samskara. Samskara means rules that I receive from. I'm the rule maker. I can write any rule. I can break any rule. Understand? But as far as this one rule is concerned, that Ram is waiting for Lakshmi or Sita to come and save him, I'm not going to break it. You want to know why not? It will mean that even the gods don't have any gratitude for what he has done. You understand? So we have way too much respect for Ram. We have way too much love for Ram. To break this one thing that he was born for is to, which is to complete the karma that was left pending from Ramayana. The saving, the loop has to be closed. So that's why I'm holding on. Number two, it's like the Jaina. If you look at a helicopter, anybody who knows about helicopters, there's something called a Jaina which connects the rotor to the motor and the rest of the fuselage. They call it J nut because it's the Jesus nut. Like that nut goes off, that's it. The copter is gone. So this particular samskara of me waiting here for one of the queens is the J nut of all the chaos that you experience outside. It's the one thing that is holding everything in control. Does that mean that when the queen comes to me and then the J nut, no, it actually becomes stronger because a lot of the karma that I'm holding will be neutralized when I meet and touch that first queen. I'm not talking about touch as in having sex, but the moment I touch a hand or whatever, that's it. A lot of the karma that you all are facing, a lot of the pain that you all are facing, the confusion that you all are facing will just disappear because something very important has come into balance. Understand? So now the only other question is then why am I still insisting on these five? Because they were chosen by you. You chose them. Humanity chose them. And I took them into my heart and I love them beyond what you can imagine. So if I choose somebody else, and there are candidates near me, yeah, if I choose somebody else and make them into that first one to liberate me as a Lakshmi or whatever, that means I'm taking away your choice. It's humanity that will you lose. Do you understand me or not? Plus, of course, it gives me the room to actually pull even harder on Maya, on the illusion that's trying to hold you back. Do you follow? Yes, I know for okay, this I have to address it better. For a lot of the women feel like they want to hate me, but they can't hate me because yes, I know it's tough to suddenly fall in love with a stranger that you got to know about through the internet, who you see through, CCTVs and whatever outside or whatever people record and all that. And it's a bit absurd, isn't it? It's like fall in love long distance like that. But I'm not talking about the queens, I'm talking about the others. It's because that connection is at the level of the soul, you understand me or not? Your soul knows that I am your soulmate. It doesn't matter whether you're a man, woman, child, or a plant or an animal or whatever. End of the day, at the deepest level, as Shakti, which is the first stage after Shiva, as Prakriti, as creation. That creation knows that Shiva is the soulmate. So the love that you feel, which feels like sometimes it can drive you insane, actually comes from your soul. So you have only two options. One, you turn around and go as deep as you can within yourself. Find that soul within you and then turn that soul around to look at what's that cause, the light that shines upon it. And then you'll find Shiva. Or get closure by allowing the five queens to come and finish this off. Because the moment you see me being married off to somebody else, that love will automatically subside. Because everything will just coalesce into these five girls. And Maya will no longer try to use you to attain me. Understand? If you can actually follow what I'm saying, that means you're very smart. If you cannot follow what I'm saying, think about it slowly and it'll start making sense to you. Provided you have supreme knowledge in you. Okay. So the magic of Ram is that. See, he's always on the side of good. So he's always used to the nice things. He's not used to pain. Understand? Both Ram and Sita, or Vishnu and Lakshmi, are always on the side of benevolence and love and compassion and all that. So we keep the pain away from them. Because of the events of Ramayana, of Lakshmi coming in, taking the suffering. So in this particular cycle, Very sadly, both of them had to experience pain. That's why Shiva had to enter the picture and try to protect them as much as possible. With Sita, of course, with the bow. And I got the story wrong the other day. He didn't untie. He had to tie the bowstring. And he did it very gently as if he was tying the string around the wrist of Sita. So in this particular instance, he has to undo the tying that we have done on Kubera. So you see, even in that small detail, there is that completion. One is tying up, another one is untying. You see how karma works or not? We close the loop. We balance it out. So in the midst of all this chaos, every time you listen to me, somehow or other, you feel that chaos subsiding, isn't it? Because that the chaos comes from the part of your mind called chitta. The chitta is always under the control of Shiva. Once the chitta recognizes that Shiva is talking, it automatically subsides, and that waves and all that tribulations that your mind gives you when you're not connected to me fully, it just starts becoming slow and calm. So chant Ram, chant Jai Shri Ram, chant Bismillah, chant, use the prayer that I gave you. Lord, thank you for everything. Please keep me happy. But try to stay connected to God, whichever way possible. And Salman Rushdie, you decided that God did not exist because you had a ham sandwich and God did not strike you down with a what? Lightning bolt, is it? You think God, you're so important that God had to pay particular attention to whether you were eating pork? Come on, plus that's not a big enough sin for us to roast you. But the past few days you've been noticing, right, there's been a lightning strike to the closest tree near you, which I think is in Central Park, isn't it? The poor tree is suffering for you. So every day there'll be one lightning strike for you. Until you apologize to humanity for trying to insult Muhammad. Understand me? Because this solution that is happening right now will not be happening without the hard work that Muhammad put in. Nobody has the right to insult him. Understand me or not? You will be forgiven provided you seek apology not just from the Muslims but from everybody. Because he's a linchpin in the plan that is going on right now. And humanity has to learn to respect Muhammad. Not just the non-Muslims, the Muslims as well. Understand me? Because his job was very, very difficult. We gave him a very hard task to do. To know the gods are real, at the same time teach your followers that the gods do not exist is something so difficult to do. You understand me or not? And he managed to do it. He's worthy of tremendous respect. And until you issue that apology, a lightning strike will fall upon the closest tree to you wherever you are. Understand? Don't worry, that strike will not harm anybody nearby or whatever. It will just be to remind you that God can pay particular attention to an individual if you want to. Got it? Alright, so what is the way out for you all? Bring one or more queens to me. Otherwise, you lose control of the game. Whatever little control that you have will be lost. And trust me 100% when I say this, I don't want to hurt any of these 5 girls. And if I take somebody outside the 5, they will be hurt. And I don't want to do that. Okay. So you want that little bit of control? It's through these 5 queens. Okay.